I went to the movies yesterday with my beloved best friend. He's 85 years old, full of life, full of mobility, and fully himself. We have a tradition, he and I. No matter where we are or where we're going, we wave to each other as we drive away. But yesterday, the wave didn't happen. He walked to his car, and I drove to the exit. I waited there for him to pull up behind me. 1 minute passed, then three. The silence in the car began to fill with noise. Was he confused? Was he hurt? I eventually drove through to avoid blocking traffic, but my mind stayed stuck in that parking lot. As I drove toward the stoplight, a small worry about a parking validation spiraled into a profound preemptive grief. I began imagining the day when his button's up, when he will no longer be physically here with me. As I pulled into my parking garage, my phone rang. It was Joseph. He was walking into his home at the exact moment I was arriving at mine. He was safe. The immediate danger was over. And yet, when I walked into my apartment, the feeling didn't leave. I put my things down and made some tea, but I couldn't bring myself to drink it. Even though I knew he was safe, I was suddenly awash in a heavy, uncomfortable dread. This is the moment where remote control living usually takes over, where we scroll, numb out, or spiral. I tried to watch a few funny videos, laughed for a second, and then the heaviness came crashing back. I sighed deeply, put the phone down, and began to sob. I didn't try to stop it. Instead, I walked into my room, picked up a framed picture of myself as a little girl, and sat down in the overstuffed chair across from my bed. I knew it was time to practice, not by analyzing my brain, but by being with my body. It started with awareness, but it didn't look like a perfect meditation. It looked like sitting in a chair, tears streaming, and simply letting myself know it's okay to cry. Then I asked a question. What need are you trying to have met at this moment? I added with a bit of humor to myself. Please help me out, because I haven't mastered mind reading yet. I didn't get an answer right away, and that was okay. I just reminded myself that when I felt safe, I'd be ready to listen. But first, I realized my body needed to feel that safety physically. I needed a right action. I placed the picture on my lap and gave myself a butterfly hug, tapping my shoulders slowly. It helped, but I needed more. I reached out and grabbed the weighted blanket draped across my bed. I wrapped it tight around my neck and shoulders, pulling down on the fabric to simulate a firm, holding hug. I pressed the picture against my chest. In that held space, the answer to my question finally bubbled up. A small voice inside said, "I'm scared and I don't want to be left alone." This was the moment of self-acceptance. I didn't tell myself to toughen up. I didn't tell myself I was being dramatic because Joseph was fine. I simply said, "It's okay to be scared. You are not alone. I am your protector, and you are safe." And then I reminded myself of the most important truth of all. I let myself know that I am not that powerful. I don't get to decide when my own button's up or when anyone else's is. That timeline belongs to something bigger than me. I sat there for a few more moments, pressed into the chair, wrapped in the weight of the blanket. I let myself feel the truth that one day we will grieve and that we will be okay when we do. Slowly, the overwhelm began to recede. The storm passed, not because I suppressed it, but because I let it move through me. I stood up, smoothed out the wrinkles in the blanket, and went back into the living room. A little clearer, a little less anxious, and deeply grateful for the practice. We can't always control the trigger. We certainly aren't powerful enough to control the future, but we can always choose to smooth out the wrinkles afterwards. I found my way back to calm, not because I changed the future, but because I finally trusted myself enough to navigate the present. If you're carrying a heavy worry about what tomorrow might bring, what would happen if you put that weight down just for today? Thank you so much for listening. Grab your copy of the PARQS First Step Kit in the show notes below. And until next time, change course gracefully. Bye for now.